of his own in Luis. Went to Gateway Legends a couple weeks ago and got his dub there. So we're looking at a battle of some champions here. We're going to kick it off with game number 1.
Yeah, so Luis, obviously my boy, he's from NorCal. Like they said, one guild house with a trial by combat. But right now, he is fighting up against one of, if not the world's best. And he is able to, he is definitely confident. I talked to him before. He's like, you know what? I can do this. I'm going to win this. I'm going to win this set. And, you know, usually when he says that, he's right.
Yeah, despite the fact that Louis Money and MKLeo have a bit of history, of course, in favor of the reigning, the former champion of Smash Ultimate, because Askamona very adequately said, a bit of a slump, a bit of a curve in which he's trying new things, he's manipulating what he knows with his character, how far he can push, whatever he knows he can do. MKLeo this time around going with Byleth, a character that a lot of people love seeing, others not so much, others just fiending for that Joker, but at this point, I think this is going to be beautiful to watch considering just the magic that he can perform with the teacher of the 3 houses.
Well, somebody's got to get out to take this first stock, and right now, I mean, it's definitely looking like it's Leo favored, and as I say, that takes the words right out of my mouth, puts them into action with that forward tilt. You hear the crowd, though, pulling for Luis to bring this one back. He's got Leo in the corner, looking for the big down smash, and look, Luis will pull out those smash attacks more than almost any Palu will.
Yeah, that is absolutely a Luis classic. Normally landing them, but unfortunately for him, this is going to be a huge loss for that one mistake as Leo really pressures him in the corner. And once again, just Leo is one step ahead of Luis in every one of these interactions. Luis still struggling to find one.
No way.
Leo says, you got a forward smash, I'll show you some real range.
Also,
here's a lance.
Oh, the main issue is that the windbox actually pushed Leo into the perfect position for the spear to just pierce through Luis Money's heart, just like that. I know that it also pierced through a lot of people in chat's heart, but it's just Leo feeling extremely comfortable, still sitting on his first stock, while Luis scrambling to get something started. Very unfortunate situation for the Palutena main, because every time he tries to go in, is just Leo stopping him, either with a fail nut or the lances, as we've seen many times before.
It's like you said, Jet. I mean, it just feels right now at the start of this set like Leo is just a step ahead of everything. I mean, we've seen Luis go for a couple of fake outs to try to bait something out from Leo, but actually Leo calling out that bait. Luis going for a crazy edge guard right there. Leo not able to make it back, does go a little bit too far, so Luis does get his first stock taken, but will have to do quite a lot of work, especially playing a character like Palutena to bring this one back.
Yeah, I think what Luis was going for is if Leo drifted in too much, that upward angled auto reticle would have caught him during the reel in of the up B. So it was an interesting idea, but obviously Leo was already dead, and
wow.
Luis is already dead on that last stock. I swear, Leo recently, not super recently, but relatively recently, started pulling out these side Bs a lot more as callouts. He really just he feels it in his bones and then just lets it rip, because that move is really laggy if you hit it on shield. Like, Luis could hit him with a big punish, but you know, if it's not on shield, if it's scooping you up, if it's killing you, who cares?
What I always think about with Leo, I think I made this metaphor to Last, and he kind of said, like, yeah, that makes sense, is Leo to me has sort of like infinite RAM as a player, right, where he never really runs out of the things that he can kind of recall and pull from. So when you talk about reads, when you talk about having all of his options at his disposal, those are the kinds of things that Leo just doesn't really drop.
That's right, and for people who are asking, specifically Colt, who was there in chat, Big Boss, ¿cómo va? How is he going? He's in losers quarterfinals. He's gonna have to fight Andric soon. Va a tener que pelear contra Andy pronto, but that's another story for later. So far, as you guys very adequately analyzed and explained, it is Leo who's currently feeling so good, so collected, so methodical as we're used to seeing. He's just catching up. He's trying to put Louis in a very dire situation, but it is Louis instead who manages to juggle Leo, something that we haven't seen happen so far, maybe tapping into the beauty of Pokemon Stadium 2. You know, the muscle memory.
Leo taking a little bit of a page out of Luis's book and just throwing out that down smash and a little bit of a read, but not connecting. Right now, Luis is in the corner. This is one of the positions where Leo has just been so dominant for so long. He gets stage control, and he keeps you there, and he kills you for it almost every single time. Luis having a hard time getting out of the corner, gonna have to find some way right now to get out, and he finally does. Gets a jab, huge percent onto Leo for this next stock.
Just like that, gets sent down to hell with a beautiful snack down from Leo. You'd love to see those every single time they do come out. You know that you're in danger, and Luis not being able to avoid them just yet, despite the fact that things are not looking entirely dire for Louis Money. He's still struggling to find a solid footing, forcing Leo to come back, but it's really not an issue because Leo knows how to take it slow from time to time and make the most out of those moments of calm, the moments of quiet, where he can just go back and reassess what his next approach will be.
And a lot of that approach has been trying to let Luis just kind of back himself into a corner, but hasn't been able to capitalize on it because as much as Luis has done that a few times, he's done a really good job of escaping the corner. Tall task ahead of him off the ledge once again, though. This time Leo showing off some of that adaptation. Luis does get his feet back on solid ground, but does not properly shield that fail knock. Gets the reflect on the arrow, though, so it does buy him that time to get right back into center stage and take control of the game once again.
Yeah, Leo has been really mixing up the timings of this neutral air with his approaches, making it super hard for Luis to punish him. But now, a teleport through, an unfortunate forward tilt. You gotta know that that was definitely a dash attack, this input. Sucks to see happen, but every now and then, it comes out.
Yeah, Leo ready to scoop him up with the no smash as he tries to recover, and Luis struggling to get something started. You know that those early percentage combos will be absolutely dreadful as Luis tries to gain some solid footing. Yet again, Leo allowing it for a couple seconds. Careful here, recovery could be extremely dicey, but a dash attack sends Leo once again off stage, and beautiful confirm there with a backer. That's something that Luis needed, and as the percentage keeps on climbing, he is now looking in a very, very tough spot as Leo is menacingly looming.
And Leo's starting to call out a lot of these timings off the ledge too, where sometimes Luis is waiting for an impulse from Leo saying, okay, you threw out a move or you moved to somewhere over here, right, and that's my opportunity to get off the ledge. And sometimes he pulls the trigger first, and he's been trying to do a really good job of mixing that up, but Leo's starting to catch on to sort of the rhythm and the pace of when Luis is going to go for each of those. Despite that, though, that NorCal veteran is starting to turn things around. 47% built up on MKLeo, but we do take a trip right back to neutral.
Yeah, and this is a scarier neutral for Luis, obviously, with Leo having a couple kill poke options and could be having... okay, just goes for a forward air. I was worried that was going to be a parry F smash or a parry down smash to end it off. And right now, okay, gets the shield, gets the forward smash. This is a huge opportunity for Luis, who goes so deep for the back air. Not going to fall for it, but the up tilt sends him into the skies. This Byleth up air and forward air are looming. How does Luis get out of the corner here?
He won't take much damage now that Leo is menacing with the sword of the creator. That dash attack to finally take that game of Louis Money. Incredible display still from Leo, but more so I want to bring attention to Louis' adaptation there, slowing down the pace of the game just enough so that Leo didn't feel comfortable enough to just go in all out, which is something that he's not a stranger to, and it allowed Louis to slowly creep back to the lead, almost catching up to Leo. Maybe for the next game, for the potential last game of the winner's side of things for Louis Money, he will bring something different to the table.
He's called Mr. Game 5 for a reason, right?
See.
Like, there is a nickname to this man more than just the tag, and that is because the adaptation, more than anything, defines him as a player. He is so intelligent about the game, and not just about what he is and isn't allowed to do, although that is one of his big strengths. He's also so good at paying attention to what the player is doing. But things will always be tough when you've got a guy who is equally as proficient as that in Leo going up against you on the other side of the sticks.
Yeah, Leo already once again setting up this edge guard, and it has been untouched perfection for Leo this game as Luis finally gets the starter of a Nair, but once again, he releases the shield a little bit too early on Leo's Nair. It's so hard to deal with.
It is basically the battle of the Nairs, right? Both of them trying their best out of shield, knowing that it could grant them so much footing once they manage to catch their opponents. If they're lacking, now careful here, Leo saving that jump and knowing that he has to be extremely mindful of how he spends those resources. Felnut actually missing as he tries to catch Louis Money in the recovery situation, but look, patiently waiting, knowing that if Leo makes a mistake, he will gain the control of the stage once more.
The patience is everything, and this is one of the things that has always defined Leo, particularly about his offense, right, is that he is not going to be balls to the wall, especially when he's playing Byleth. He is very much about just making sure that he is in range to strike back when you choose to do something, and Luis, unfortunately, choosing an option that puts him not on the ledge, so he does drop that first stock, does find his down throw back air right there. Must have mixed up Leo's DI and could still yet find this next stock before too much damage racks up, but again, Leo really fighting back strong.
Yeah, Leo is, like you said, all about that control of the stage, all about that positioning that makes you scared, because when you're scared, you do a little bit of a panic option, and Leo is always ready for you, and that get-up attack almost could have been an even bigger punish right there. Finally, Luis getting a grab, throwing Leo off stage, but we've seen how good Leo is at getting back. It's been almost a non-factor when he's been off stage, but finally the jab gets the job done. Luis is now even in stocks, but heavily falling in percent, sir.
Yeah, a bit of a mistake there from Leo as he tries to recover and punish. Louis will allow him to just go in and punish him with a flurry of jabs. Another backer that allows Leo to just get one stock away from moving forward to winners finals to face his next opponent, who could be Sonics if he does take this stock. Louis Money looking really sharp here, knowing that the low percentage combos will allow him for an easy 50% as long as he doesn't make a mistake. Great extension, still not out of the woodworks.
Ooh, love that double jump back air right there, though. Calling out Leo. Trying to go to the platform, but I want to talk about call-outs. I want to talk about that forward smash, because Louis Money, like we talked about the adaptation, said, you've been doing that neutral get-up one too many times. Catch one of these.
We saw Melee earlier, and we've talked about Johnny stocks, but that was a Luis stock if I've ever seen one. God damn.
Money.
The money, he wants it. He wants it now.
The money has been made.
The money is made. He cashed out, and now he's got to do it again as he's down a little bit of percent, but it looks so much more doable after what happened last stock. Once again, hunting, finding Luis. He's finding so much. Another forward smash circ. He's going so hard.
Absolutely beautiful display from Louis Money. He's looking extremely sharp. He looks extremely aggressive. Leo missing out on the up air. Still looking for a good way to finish it out. Whether it's flashy, whether it's consistent, it doesn't matter. Leo will try to find it. Both of them are looking really, really caught up in what they need to do. But the percent is not going to be to make it easy for any of them, really, because this is kill percent for both of them.
The scrambles, literally the scramble has been going on for like 90 seconds straight, and yet they're both holding on to the stocks. Reflect gets that arrow out of the way because Louis wanted to hold on to his air dodge, still trying to find his setup to try to push Leo into the corner, but he's running out of time, sitting at 153. Many stray hits can do it for Leo now, and the forward tilt will indeed be the one. MKLeo is back on his GOAT status with that 3-0 clean victory.
It's so sad.
For the Luis fans, it's sad.